Vin Diesel's story is often told through engines roaring, explosions flashing, and heroes who refuse to quit. But beneath the cinematic legend is a far quieter truth, one shaped by absence, struggle, and relentless persistence. Born Mark Sinclair, he did not enter the world with privilege or certainty, but with questions that would follow him for decades. His journey from uncertain beginnings in New York to global stardom was not a straight line of success, but a long road carved through rejection, survival jobs, and self-made opportunities. What defines him is not fame itself, but the endurance it took to reach it and the cost paid along the way. Origins in silence. Mark Sinclair was born into a world that offered him very little clarity about who he was meant to be. Raised in New York City by his mother, Delora Shirlene Vincent, and his stepfather Irving H. Vincent, he grew up without knowing his biological father. That absence created not anger, but a lingering silence that shaped his identity. His mother worked as an astrologer and actress, often balancing creativity with financial struggle. In that household, identity was not handed down. It was assembled piece by piece. As a child, he learned early that survival meant adapting, imagining, and filling in the gaps left behind by unanswered questions. Westbeth and survival life in Westbeth artists' housing exposed him to both creativity and hardship in equal measure. The building was filled with artists chasing dreams they could barely afford, and families like his who learned to survive in imperfect conditions. Broken elevators, cold winters, and tight living spaces were part of everyday life. Yet within those walls, imagination thrived. His stepfather taught acting to children who had little money but plenty of ambition, while his mother wrote and studied the stars. In that environment, young Mark learned that hardship did not cancel creativity. It often fueled it, turning scarcity into the foundation of resilience. First encounter with theater. At around 7 years old, a moment of mischief changed everything. After breaking into a neighborhood theater in Greenwich Village, Mark and other boys expected punishment. Instead, they were offered opportunity. The theater's director saw potential rather than trouble and invited them to return and perform. That unexpected choice redirected his life. The stage became more than a place to act. It became a place to belong. For a child growing up without clear direction, theater offered structure, discipline, and purpose. What began as curiosity quickly evolved into passion, planting the earliest seeds of a career that would one day reach far beyond that small stage. Discipline of the streets. Before Hollywood, there were nightclubs, long shifts, and the demanding role of a bouncer in New York City. The job was not glamorous. It was physical, unpredictable, and often exhausting. He worked in some of the city's toughest venues, where tension could rise without warning and control depended on presence alone. These experiences shaped his physicality and awareness, qualities that later defined his screen presence. But more than strength, it taught discipline. Every night was a test of endurance and focus. In those environments, he learned how to read people, stay grounded under pressure, and move through chaos without losing control. College and decision to leave. Vin Diesel briefly attended college, studying literature while navigating the pressures of adulthood in New York. But education alone could not solve immediate survival needs. Financial strain and uncertainty pushed him to make a difficult decision, leave the academic path and pursue something less defined but more urgent. He later described it not as quitting, but as acknowledging reality. Life demanded action, not theory. During this time, he began writing and exploring filmmaking independently, determined to create opportunities rather than wait for them. It was the beginning of a shift from student to creator, from observer to builder of his own future. Writing his own future. Unable to break into Hollywood through traditional casting routes, he turned to independent filmmaking. One of his earliest projects, Multifacial, was written, directed, and starred in by him, funded through personal sacrifice and limited resources. The film explored identity, rejection, and the struggle of being seen, reflecting his own experiences in the industry. It gained attention not because of scale, but because of honesty. Around this time, he also worked on early versions of what would become strays. These projects proved something essential. If doors would not open, he could build his own. That mindset became the foundation of his career. Breakthrough and global recognition. His persistence eventually led to breakthrough roles that reshaped action cinema. Pitch Black introduced audiences to a new kind of anti-hero, while XXXX amplified his presence as a global action star. But it was the Fast and Furious franchise that transformed him into a cultural icon. The story of loyalty, family, and resilience mirrored themes that had always been part of his life. These films were not just entertainment, they became identity markers for millions of fans worldwide. With success came recognition, but also responsibility, the weight of maintaining a legacy built on both performance and personal conviction. Family, brotherhood, and loss. Despite fame, relationships remained central to his identity. The concept of family, both on and off screen, became a defining theme of his career. The loss of close friend and co-star Paul Walker deeply affected him, reshaping his understanding of loyalty and mortality. That absence echoed beyond film sets, reminding him of life's fragility. Off-camera, he maintained strong ties with collaborators and longtime friends, often describing them as extensions of his real family. In many ways, his personal life and professional themes merged, reinforcing the idea that success is hollow without meaningful connection and shared history. Fame, pain, and responsibility. With global recognition came physical and emotional strain. Years of performing demanding action sequences left marks on his body, while the pressure of maintaining a franchise added constant responsibility. Yet he continued forward, balancing production, acting, and creative control. Fame did not erase his past, it layered over it. The discipline learned in New York, the struggles of early adulthood, and the rejection he once faced all remained embedded beneath the surface. Instead of escaping his origins, he carried them forward, using them as fuel rather than burden, even as the demands of success continued to grow. Outro. Legacy of endurance. Vin Diesel's journey is not simply a Hollywood success story. It is a study in endurance, of how identity can be shaped through absence, how ambition can grow from limitation, and how persistence can transform rejection into opportunity. From uncertain beginnings to global recognition, his path reflects both triumph and cost. What remains most powerful is not the fame or the films, but the steady refusal to give up when circumstances offered every reason to do so. His legacy is not defined by speed or spectacle, but by the quieter truth beneath it all: survival, discipline, and the will to keep moving forward.